Tall and upright the entire time as you're doing these, and having the wall next to you, it's a really good indicator. If your head starts hitting the wall, you're probably leaning the torso a little bit too much to the side. So all you're trying Alright, so today I didn't feel like getting changed, so we're going to do a street clothes version. So the other day I talked about the VMO, which is one of the muscles that tends to be underdeveloped and really helps protect your knees from any sort of lower extremity injury. Another one of the big ones is just like the entire abductor sequence, just anything on the side of your butt cheek. I've already made a video, I'll link to it in the description.
Hi, welcome, come join me. So listen, I'm not just down here because this is a sultry and sexy pose. I'm actually down here for a reason.
It's like a 7-way hip abductor sequence, 3.5 minutes on each side. That's an open chain movement. I just wanted to do a closed chain movement just to kind of complement that video. The reason that matters is because a lot of times you should be training in the positions that are going to translate to your sport or life for that matter. So athletes in particular, almost any sport, it's all closed chain movements. You're in contact with the ground and that's where you need the strength. So you should be training these positions in not only an open chain environment, but definitely a closed chain environment as well. So I'm just going to show 2 different exercises done with a band. One of them is done with a band around the knees, the other with a band around the ankles. Luckily, the abductors are a very easy muscle to target and recruit and get to work, as opposed to the VMO the other day, where it's very precise, very particular, and a lot of times you still need to pre-fatigue the legs just to get those muscles to fire. These movements are very easy, they're very simple. A lot of times you can even do them without the band, and they're easy to target the muscles you're trying to get to work. First one, standing lateral leg raise. This is done with the band around the ankles. Use a wall or something just for balance, just in case. Also, to help you cue, you want to keep the torso tall and upright the entire time as you're doing these, and having the wall next to you, it's a really good indicator. If your head starts hitting the wall, you're probably leaning the torso a little bit too much to the side. So all you're trying to do here, start with the band around the ankles, hand against the wall for balance, and as a cue to keep yourself tall and upright, driving the leg up and to the outside. Pretty simple movement. Main thing here, the working leg, in this case it's my left leg, don't let that foot turn out to the side. So as you're doing these, try to keep the foot pointing forward, or if anything, turned in a little bit. So these muscles, in addition to being abductors, pulling the leg away from your center line, they're also internal rotators of the leg, so to help get them to fire and cue, turn that foot in a little bit. Same thing in that side lying hip sequence in the other video. A lot of times they say keep the toe down, heel up.
So you always want to remember toe down, heel up. Keeping that toe down, heel up relationship. Number 6, keeping that toe down, heel up. Try to maintain that toe down, heel up position the whole time.
That's a cue for internal rotation. It just helps recruit these muscles a little bit better. So the first one, toe in or neutral is fine, up and to the outside. Second one, banded clamshells. Now the band's up around the knees, same thing. Try to keep the torso tall and upright, standing up against the wall for balance and as a cue, not to deviate that torso position too much. All you're doing from here, drive that knee up and to the outside. This position, because it's the knee, the leg can kind of do whatever it wants. You're still gonna feel that recruitment in the outside of the butt cheeks. So those are the 2 moves. Band, I mean, you can do these without a band, you'll still feel it. Doing it with a band is just a little bit more effective, but just to complement sort of that open chain side lying hip sequence, it's good to throw some of these in there as well. So if you're an athlete, well actually really anyone, if you're trying to train these, just make sure you're not doing it entirely in an open chain environment, which is usually going to be that side lying position on the ground. Do some closed chain movements as well. That's going to translate a little bit better to the sport that you're working on. The open chain movements, they tend to be easier for people to kind of learn what muscles they're trying to hit. Then once you get comfortable with those, definitely start adding in some closed chain movements.